Welcome to South Co Academy. Today we are going to be going over the most important step of your job. The first step is always going to be jacking up a vehicle before changing any tires. The first step to jacking up any car is to identify whether your car is going to have a standard coilover suspension or if it's going to have an air ride suspension. To figure this out, we're going to have to take a look at the vehicle itself. When identifying the components of an air ride versus a standard coilover system, you'll be looking at the shock components themselves. A standard coilover, as in this case, will have a spring located over the shock. In an air ride suspension, you'll see more of a bag which is inflated by air to push it up, would almost look like a balloon. When jacking up a coilover suspension, there's only two places that are acceptable to jack up the car. First one, as shown in the example here, will be the spot weld. Most spot welds are actually distinguished by the car, as you can see on the arrow right here. This would be your spot weld. This is most passenger vehicles. This is where you'll be jacking the car from. On trucks, SUVs, and other larger vehicles, you'll be jacking it from the frame. When jacking up the vehicle, you want to make sure that your jack is centered on the vehicle's jack spot. In this case, we're going to be using the spot weld. So again, we're going to make sure that the jack is centered on the spot weld as we lift the vehicle. While jacking up the car, you want to ensure that the jack's wheels are slowly moving as you're jacking up the vehicle. If the jack's wheels are not moving as you jack up the car, the jack is slipping and you increase the chances of the vehicle falling down. In some events, you will not have a spot weld to jack up the car on. In that event, you'd look for something along this line with a bumper or another stop of some sort. This would be your jack spot on this specific vehicle. When jacking up larger vehicles such as trucks, SUVs, or any other larger vehicles, you'll always be looking for a spot on the frame. When jacking from the frame, you want to ensure that you are not jacking up where there are any cables or lines that you could be pinching while jacking from the frame. When jacking up a truck or SUV with a solid rear axle, you can lift the entire truck with one jack by placing it on the bottom of the rear differential on the bottom of the pumpkin.